Welcome my friends, Michelle here. I have a special video for you today. In today's crafting adventure, I'm going to show you how to make a small terrarium for your home. Stay tuned and I'll show you how to make one. Terrariums can be made in several different types of containers. You can have a large glass container that is open at the top, as long as it is tall enough to have the different layers in the soil and a place for the plants comfortably inside. You can also use containers that have a loose top. You can also do a sealed container, such as this square mason jar. For our project today, we're going to be using this container, which I picked up at Walmart. It was in the clearance section. This is plastic, so you can use glass or plastic. It just needs to be able to allow the sunlight to get in. And this is my preferred type to do a terrarium in. It's something that has a loose top. This helps me to adjust the moisture inside. Sometimes I give it a little too much water and I have to leave the lid off. So it is a little bit of an adjustment, but once you get the moisture content correct inside, you are good to go. You just have to maintain it. So today we're going to be using this container. It is a candy container, and this measures 10 inches high and about 6 inches wide. And when you're picking your container, you want to remember you need to get your hand in there. So this is going to be much easier to work with and place everything than the mason jar one. So the first thing you need to pick is what container. This is going to determine what type of plants you can use, whether it's an enclosed one or it's one that's open. If you have a container that is open, you're better to use succulents or cactus. Once you go into something that's enclosed, you can stick with a few succulents, but then you can go into more tropical type plants. And if you go to something that's very sealed, you want to stick with tropical plants. For our first layer is our drainage layer. You want to use some form of rocks or gravel. I like to use aquarium gravel, and I've chosen black because I like the bottom to all look like the dirt. Now to start with this, you only need to put about 1/2 inch worth of the gravel. So that's our first layer, our drainage layer. The second layer you want is a separation layer, and you can do this either with charcoal. Again, I'm going to use aquarium charcoal. This is activative carbon charcoal. Or you can use a mesh sheet across the bottom. This is just a barrier so that all of your soil doesn't get washed down and mixed in with the bottom. Again, you just need a good maybe 1/2 inch. I like to use the charcoal. I think it helps the environment. Now our next layer is our soil layer, and depending on what plants you've chosen, I'm doing tropical, so I'm using an indoor potting mix. It says blended for a wide variety of container plants, and I like the indoor one. You're less likely to get any kind of bugs coming out, and this feeds up to 6 months, so this is really good for containers. And it has a pretty good mix. It has a little bit of perlite in there. In the description box below is a detailed list of all the tools and materials used in today's project. Okay, so that's about 1.5 inches worth of soil. If you were going to be using succulents or cactus, Miracle-Gro also makes a specific mix, cactus, palm, and citrus potting mix, and that will work really well in this if you're using those types of plants. Next, we get to put our plants in. So I chose this one for the center. I picked this up at Green Acres. Pilea Micro. Thought it was very pretty. It has just little bits of pink there in the leaves. I like that very much. Now I chose this one for this environment because the tree is kind of big and round and it needs that space even with the dome. So this little guy I'm planning on putting right in the center, or maybe just a little off center. And then I have this cute little guy, which is kind of a climber. This will fan out and fill in around the bottom. It's called a button fern. Now we have a Green Acres nursery here. It is, I don't know how far they spread, but it is a nice high-end nursery and they have all the different supplies that you need. But you can pick up a lot of different plants and things. You just want to start small. Enjoying today's content? Please show your support by hitting the like button, leaving a comment, and sharing the video with your friends. And the little kit my sister gave me, I got these cute little tools. They're not necessary, but they do come in handy. Just to kind of help pat things down. Enjoying the content and want to see more? Make sure to hit the subscribe button. When the notification bell pops up, if you hit that too, YouTube should let you know every time I upload new content. Okay, so I have my 2 plants in there. And now we get to do the fun part, which is the decorations, our decorative layer. I have all my soil in and I packed it down so it's nice and level. So now I want to put a layer of sand over the top. This will help seal that soil down, and I'm just using premium aquarium sand. Now a trick that I found is just to take a piece of paper, roll it into a tube, open one end, and just tape it. This is what I'm going to use to add the sand. So you just put it in there and slowly pour in as you move around. This works really well because then the sand only goes where you want it to. Now I have this really cute little bridge. This comes out of the Fairy Garden collection. And then I just have some larger decorative stones that I'm going to add. I think that is perfect. It has something to catch the eye, but not too much going on. I can put the lid on. Okay. And it still has plenty of room inside to grow. I'm just going to nip this one little guy. Now other items items that you can add are other fairy garden items. You can add moss, other types of decorative rock, decorative sand. If you like to see different layers, you can use different colors in the layers. So there's a lot of different things that you can do, but I find less is more. You can even use just one nice plant in the center so it has plenty of room to grow. My thoughts is this will kind of occupy the top part and the other one will occupy the bottom. Now occasionally you are going to need to go in and do a little trimming to keep it under control for the size of your container. So now we're going to add our moisture. Now my soil was very dry, so I'm going to be adding a little bit more moisture. If you're not comfortable with adding the moisture later, what you can do is you can take your soil and you can wet it. You want to squeeze out anything that's heavy in the soil and leave it moist and then put that in. Then all you'll need to do is a little bit of misting before you close. But because my soil was very dry, I need to add some water. And I'm going to pour it here over the bridge because I don't want it to disrupt. Pour a little on this side over the rocks. Now I can tell by looking at the soil once that soaks in if I need to add any more or not. Looks like I need to. And if I do get a little too much in there, that water will settle in the bottom layer, which is the drainage layer. Now the reason why the drainage layer is there is so that the plant's roots don't sit in any water. Okay, so now I just add a couple mists and close it up, and it is good to go. Now remember, the soil that I used was nutrient rich. It had fertilizer in it already. Now this you want to place in a bright area but not direct sunlight. Once you get your moisture content correct, you'll only need to mist this about once a week. And here you go, we are all done. It is fully assembled. I allowed it to sit without the lid overnight to make sure I didn't have too much moisture in there. I did end up adding a couple fairies from the fairy garden and an extra stone or two, and then I'm going to try a few little clippings from some other plants that I have to see if I can get them to root and grow. But this is a really fun way to garden, especially if you don't have a lot of space. So this one came out absolutely gorgeous. I'm very pleased with it. And this one now has been for a couple days. This is what it looks like. It starts getting nice and steamy looking inside, and that's a good thing. It is creating its own environment. So the moisture rises, it becomes steam and kind of collects at the top, and then when it has enough, it drips back down. So that's exactly what you want to happen. That gives it that nice natural cycle. You just need to make sure that you didn't put too much water. If you're seeing that your plants are suffering, then you'll want to go and open it up and leave it open until that mist goes away, then close it back up and try again. Now, how much fun was that? Making your own little individual fairy garden or Japanese garden, or just a beautiful garden that you like to look at in a small container that can be placed anywhere where you have nice bright light. You can do anything that you want. If you're not into the fairy garden items, you don't have to use those. You can also use a few pieces of driftwood or maybe bark, any beautiful natural stones that you may have that'll fit in the arrangement that you're doing. This is definitely a new hobby of mine. I love it. And the supplies, most of them I picked up at Dollar Tree or at Walmart. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial and learned a few things and now are inspired to try something on your own. Thanks so much for your visit. You know it's always appreciated. Have a great day, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.